recently I saw my boys doing something I knew they should not be doing, but I kept quiet. And they did it again. And I was like, oh no, I need to talk because this must not continue as a habit. Okay. Have you ever been there as a parent? I'm going to share something with you very, very soon. Welcome to The Confident Woman. My name is Blessing Ekundayo. And as usual, I've got something interesting for you today that you will learn from. If you are yet to hit that subscribe button, hit it now, okay? And subscribe to my YouTube channel and leave me a comment. Right. So something happened recently. My boys are currently on holiday. It's the school holidays in New Zealand, sort of like a midterm break. And I was on leave on one of the days and I saw my boys we were watching the football, FIFA, it's FIFA World Cup. We watched the first game. I think it was one of the games. I can't remember the game. Anyway, watched the game. And after they finished the game, my son they went to play the Nintendo, and I was like, oh, it's too early, but it looks like they've been doing it, and I didn't want to upset them. So I kept quiet and continued doing my own thing. And the following day again, we woke up, we watched the football match. And after that, again to their Nintendo. And I was like, I cannot continue like this. We cannot continue like this. We have to do something about this because this is not a good habit. You don't wake up in the morning and the next thing you run to is a video game. Okay. I get FIFA World Cup and that's once in 4 years. It's not like it's every day. But when you now make it a habit that you wake up to play games, I was like, nah. Okay, so what did I do? I had to tell the boys, I knew it was going to cause problem, but I had to tell the boys, guys, we cannot continue like this. I know that you're going to be gutted. I know you're going to be disappointed. I know you would not like it, but we cannot continue to wake up and watch, and play games. That it is not okay. There are things to do. There are chores to do. There are other activities we can do. But playing games, it's a no-no. We can play games later in the day, but not waking up to play games. I had to explain all of that to them. And of course they were gutted. Of course they were disappointed. Of course they were not happy. I already expected those, the disappointments, the emotions, and rather than dismiss those emotions, I had to acknowledge them. I validated the emotions. I said, yes, I got it wrong. Your dad and I got it wrong. But we cannot continue to open our eyes and watch you guys do this. I said, no, it's going to be a wrong habit that we would bring you up with, and we don't want to make that mistake. It is our responsibility to guide you, right? They bombarded me with questions about this. We used to do this, or why and why and why. And I calmed down. I didn't let that, phase me at all. I calmed down and I answered their questions appropriately, and yeah, they shed a little tear, and after a while, we were good again. We're happy with I took them out and we're playing. But why did I share this? I share this because there are many parents who watch their children do the wrong things, but because they've kept quiet, those children continue in with that habit. They continue to do those things and they graduate. It doesn't stop with that habit. It now becomes something even higher and higher and higher until the parents cannot take it anymore and they now start talking and start shouting. But where were you when the child started? You didn't see anything, you kept quiet. And sometimes for us as parents, maybe it's because we are too busy, maybe because we are scared of, hurting them, or we are scared of the tantrums that they may throw, or we're scared of, we don't just have the time for problem. Where I come from, they call it wahala. You don't want trouble, from them, and so you would just ignore and dismiss the behavior as if you are not seeing it, whereas it's getting worse. I want to speak to you parents watching me today. I want you to know that it is not okay for you to be quiet about behaviors or character flaws in your children. It is our responsibility as parents to guide them, to reprimand them, to correct them, to discipline them. Yes, it's not going to be comfortable. There is no correction that is really comfortable for our children, right? But it is our responsibility to do that, because nobody's going to do that for us. Okay, or else they grow up and God forbid it's a really bad character, the government to do it, to take them to court, they put them in prison, the government to do those things, especially if it's really, really terrible, right? And the character flaws can show up in different areas of their lives. So my encouragement to us is if we are, or if we are seeing those things that we do not want, we don't want them to do, we don't want them to say, we don't want them to act on, don't ignore it. I remember I wrote a post about this on my Instagram recently, and someone had commented and said, there are people or parents who you hear the child use curse words, at home, and you keep quiet. You're telling the other siblings or the other children in that home that curse words are okay because that child said it and he did not say anything, and before you know it, everybody is using curse words. It becomes a norm at home, and you know that it is not okay, but you have kept quiet. And because she did not say anything about number, the first child, the second child, the third child, so everybody, it's become a habit. And now if you now try to stop them, mom, what, I mean, we've been doing this, we didn't say anything, so what's the big deal, we always do this. My encouragement again to you is, it's never too late. No matter how far gone you are on the wrong track or on the wrong road, the moment you make a U-turn roundabout, you're back on the right track. So it's better late than never. Make sure that you summon up the courage, as an intentional parent, to do the right thing, to call your children back, or back in order, and get them back on track. And God will help us. Parenting, intentional parenting, it's not easy. It is hard work, and I am still on that journey. I am not a perfect parent, nothing close to a perfect parent, but I love to share my experiences. I love to share my mistakes also, and lessons, so that people don't make the same mistake that I made in parenting, with parenting. And God will help all of us. We'll keep praying for our children, but we need to set them on the right path also, and when they are falling, bring them back on track. Okay, I hope this helps. Until I see you again next time, my name is Blessing Ekunayo. I am the Confident Woman. God bless you. Bye for now.